and trifling no good folks are going to leave my play cousin Supreme alone. Hello, everyone. This is Angela, and welcome to my channel, Angie the ENTJ. Please be sure to like, subscribe, comment, and click on the notifications bell. Listen, if I had no previous experience with movement hijackers, my mouth will be on the floor at the level of sheer hate they are spewing towards Supreme right now, especially on the TikTok lives. Supreme has gone on to at least a couple of platforms where the haters have ganged up and swarmed around her, pretending to be crybabies about a non-issue that does not exist, about the reason why trans women are not a part of the West 4B movement. And then they bully her, even as she explains that trans women have not only decided to do their own 3B movement because giving birth is not one of the issues that they face as trans women. She also explains with an incredible degree of patience and maturity the benefits of biological feminine and trans feminine people having their own exclusive spaces to focus efforts on the issues that are unique to each group. However, the haters scheme up to drag her into circular arguments about the West 4B movement being transphobic when it's not. Supreme is not transphobic. I support the West 4B movement personally, and I'm not transphobic either. See, let me tell you what's happening. What's happening is that they are jealous and are using fake outrage against transphobia to hide the fact that they are lazy and are unwilling to give up their own blood, sweat, and tears. They are not willing to get dirty and take the heat to advance their own objectives. That's the real reason why they're out here hating on Supreme so much. Supreme is much more patient than I am, or rather than I choose to be. If I could have spoken on those lives, I would have read them for filth, and I was down in the comment sections tearing them up. As you can see, I posted the comments that I was hurling at them because transphobia has nothing to do with what these bullies are doing to Supreme. They center their arguments on female organs or the lack of them, wigs and wardrobes, but not on the female XX chromosomes, the rounder skull shape, the density of the white matter versus the gray matter in the brain, the jaw shape, the lack of a brow ridge, the shoulder to waist ratio, the shallow pelvis with a round opening, and other features about XX bodies that cannot be surgically modified when compared with XY bodies, regardless of our orientations, trans or not. You see, prior to all of this hate that is primarily spewing from non-trans people, by the way, trans women who, I could live next to and chit-chat with while walking the dog if I had one, they were saying the right stuff. And you know what that right stuff is? That they will put in their own work, their own sweat, their own tears, their own skin, in their own game to stand up and fight for their own humanity. No different than what Supreme, as well as the women who are included in the West 4B movement, have done, or women like myself who show support. Yeah, you see, I said women who are included, and then women like myself who show support. Okay, you see, I'm not over here forcing her hand to include me. She made the rules. I'm not over here bullying her to make space for me. In fact, I'm cheering her and the other women on. You see, trans women are not the only people who have been excluded. And it's not the collective of trans women who are up here that are totally hating on Supreme either. It's a select number of people, at least one trans person, I believe, but the rest of them are not trans. They are ganging up on her and wanting to bully her into converting what little free time she has into uncompensated labor for their own unrelated agenda. And to that, I say, heck to the nah. Time is money, and the average American woman is already working a full-time job for compensation and then turning around and working 39.9 hours per week in uncompensated labor in their homes. This is a full-time job without an income or any benefits. If Supreme or any other average American woman just spent 6 more minutes providing free labor on behalf of interests outside of her own, it would mean that she has now done 40 hours this week of uncompensated labor. Plus, any second that goes beyond the 40 hours will go into overtime. Now, for what they are trying to make her do, it would amount to being an additional chore on her list of uncompensated or free labor things to do. And this is the only issue that I have with the entire discourse on this matter. They talk about female versus male organs, feeling feminine versus masculine, but they don't talk about time versus dollar. They don't talk about donations versus paying bills. Supreme has an entire website up for a movement. Ain't none of that free. She is also using graphics to create her content. It costs money to access services that are used to create and upload all of that content. And then there's the time. Let's say she spent about 1,500 hours of unpaid working time on content this past year. Okay, because y'all know I like to put numbers in my videos. So I'm gonna give you some numbers real quick. This would amount to being about 28 hours a week spent on building the West 4B movement in the past year. I'm sure she spent way more time than that, but let's keep it average just to prove my point. The minimum wage in New York State is about $15 per hour. So if you take that $15 per hour and multiply it by 1,500 hours worked, that would amount to approximately $22,500 worth of labor that she has performed without monetary compensations, aka what she has done for free. Not one time have I heard any of the detractors say, hey, I'll support your movement by paying for your website for a year. Supreme, you know what? Let's pay your rent or mortgage or your car payment for a month. Let's pay for your Wi-Fi or even the cost to upgrade it. See, Supreme also did coat and toy drives. I never heard them say, let me get my people together with your people. I know some folks here and there. Let's network and we can do coat drives and food drives and toy drives together. Let's go West 4B and 3B and any other fill in the blank movements. I did not hear them say anything along those lines, not one time. Heck, they don't even have to offer to help Supreme out. Okay, fine. Just what have they done in general to help themselves out or to help anybody else? Where's that? Because we be hearing crickets when she asked that question. See, this ain't got nothing to do with transphobia, and those haters know it. This is about work phobia. It is about sweat phobia. This is about getting into the trenches and doing your own heavy lifting phobia. This is about bullying a hardworking person as a way to cover up your laziness. It brings me joy to see you hateful folks irritated at the sight of a sincere and hardworking person being successful. I hope that it makes you itch. You see, I told y'all I am the official self-titled big cousin of the West 4B movement. You ain't as bad as you think you are. You won't knock this pencil off my shoulder. You ain't that brave, and you will not derail this movement. That's why you're all over here in Supreme's face, fire-breathing, hating, stirring the pot. Listen, let me tell you something. I can stir that pot way better than you. I keep my cauldron ready with the fire burning beneath, and I got a wooden ladle to stir that pot up. You see? I know the next steps you're going to take before you even think about it. This is what they actually want. They want us out here sweating out our hairstyles, getting sweaty, oily, and funky, losing sleep, messing up our makeup, breaking our fingernails. And once we begin to see the fruits of our labor, that's when they want to show up after a refreshing 10 to 12 hours of sleep after visiting the salon and steal the spotlight. You know, they're wearing their clothes that still got the tags on it. They want to steal the spotlight. You are lazy and you're jealous. You want to come up here fresh out of the salon, price tag still on your outfit, and take over the spotlight from those of us like Supreme who have been in here in the trenches taking hits. No, you won't. And for those of you who don't know, by the way, I was part of the natural hair movement before it got hijacked in the late 90s and early 2000s. I am seeing some of the same hate and bullcrap here for the West 4B movement that I saw way back when the natural hair movement was being hijacked. The natural hair movement, much like the West 4B movement, existed long before it gained popularity. The natural hair movement, in my humble perspective, is the biggest hijacking that's happened in recent times. But I also saw the hijacking of other movements since then as well. You see, we are 100 million steps ahead of all of you movement hijacking haters. We already saw you coming. That's why you get tongue-tied when you're being asked why you haven't started your own ish. Why haven't you started your own movement? Now, here's how you can truly make yourselves useful instead of bullying a woman out here who is working hard. You up here trying to bully her out of her free time and the money that you think she may be getting so that you can be part of the West 4B movement as a disguise to get an income to pay your freaking rent. This is what you can really do to make yourself useful and worthwhile. You can band together and clamor to make the United States appear like Finland in terms of benefits for our citizens. That way, you will have guaranteed shelter, healthcare access, and other wraparound services so that you don't have to spend your time crybabying about Supreme, who is making a difference that can positively affect all of us, including you haters. However, if you step to her again, then get ready, Because like I said, I have a pencil ready for anybody who is brave to knock it off my shoulder. You ain't that brave. Trust me. I will get downright ignorant. I will take the low road. I will roll around in the mud and fight dirty. I'll sling rocks. Keep on wasting Supreme's time on this nonsense. And I will take all of your hate and make an album about it for us to party to. I'm already picking out beats right now. We will be jamming to your crybaby. You ain't gonna derail this movement, and you better leave my play cousin alone. That's all I got to say for now. Please be sure to like, subscribe, comment, and click on the notifications bell so you'll know whenever I upload any new content. Take care until next time.